Oh, yeah, sorry.
No
Will
worries.
do.
Alrighty. Well, I'm really excited to be here for a wrap up. I've never wrapped up a meeting before, and I really put a lot of time and thought into thinking about what I really wanted to say and what would really resonate and kind of what would linger in your mind after you left today. And kind of the first thing I want to start off with is I know when we first opened up our meeting, we were thinking about why are we here? And to come full circle, I want you to think about that again. Why are you here? And to be honest with you, that's a question I ask myself all the time. Whether I was a student, whether I was a freshman taking my chem classes, whether I was going to my first TLA, whether I was an Olean, whether I was getting ready for winter break, whether I was at my first company trip, at Cabo. I kept asking myself this question. And I always thought back to like my original dreams. And some of you might think of those original dreams. For me, I really wanted to be a doctor. And I really didn't know if that's what I wanted to do, but I just knew I was excited about it. And I knew that kind of like my parents pushed me to get there. But why are we on this call here together? Well, the main kind of objective here is to help everyone on this call have a great year while we all run offices. And Mike mentioned this a ton, and I know, even Maya mentioned this. Act as if. Even if there's no way that you're thinking in hell that you'll do something like run an office, realize that your big dreams are only going to happen if you do those hard things that Mike talked about. What are some of the hard things that I've ran into? You could probably think of yours as I share some of mine. But guys, I was one of the most introverted people that you would ever even meet. You probably would have never met me because I was so introverted. And I kid you not, I was the first one to like leave class every single time and go straight home. I wasn't excited to hang out and talk in the hallways. I grabbed my books. My backpack was always full in junior high. I'm not sure if you remember this, Dan, but it was always full because I never even wanted to stop by my locker. I just wanted to leave school. And I had a couple friends, but most of my friends were friends that I met online. Video games that we never really talked. We just kind of just typed to each other. And I really knew that at that time that's not what a doctor would do. I knew that I had to do something to get outside my comfort zone. I had to do some hard things. So when I graduated from high school, I was a head lifeguard, which I thought was a hard job, but it was basically sitting in a chair inside the office versus on a guard chair. And I wasn't really doing too many hard things besides maybe putting a band aid on a kid that slipped on the pool deck that day. I don't think that was too hard. And as I thought more about college and what was to come in college, I was going to be independent, which I was already pretty independent. I really didn't mind that. But I knew that I would be in really awkward situations if I didn't improve my communication skills because I knew I'd be meeting a lot of people. And what I thought about at the time was I don't know if I want to go meet all these people. I don't know if I want to participate in all these clubs. I don't know if I want to try out to be on the swim team or whatever the case was. And throughout that summer, after I graduated from high school, it took several conversations from Sebastian to try to convince me to sell knives. And I said, Seabass, I'm a head lifeguard at the pool. I don't need it. That was kind of like my smoke screen. I was like, Seabass, I don't need to do that. I'm doing pretty well with this job. Made about, I think, on average, 2 grand a summer. And I thought I was happy about that. But when I thought about it more deeply, I shared that to Sebastian because I was scared. I was scared to talk to people. I was scared because I didn't know what it was. I was scared of the unknown. And as my time has progressed here in Vector, what I've really understood is that there's a pie chart in our lives. And there's three main slices. And the first small slice I want you to think about is the part of the chart where you know that you know things. So you all know that you know how to speak English. You all know that maybe you like tacos, especially in Cabo. So that's just one part of the pie. Another part of the pie is what you don't know. You don't know how to speak a specific language. You don't know how to complete a certain activity, or you don't know how to. You guys can think of that experience yourself. Now there's this other large part of this pie that I want you to really consider. This is the unknown. It's what you don't know that you don't know. And as I thought more about what I didn't know, I was starting to uncover more of my life and just thinking about the little experiences. So, my vision, I wanted to be a doctor, and then I wanted to be a cardiovascular surgeon, and then I wanted to be a neurosurgeon. And then I became a Cutco rep. And I was doing my first demo, and I was so nervous. I left the demos with my swim coach who I knew for 8 years. I left the demo with a giant patch of sweat under each armpit. And he said, Jacob, I have no idea like why you're sweating so much. I was like, Coach, I'm just really nervous. He's like, you talk to me all the time. I said, I never talked to you like this before. And I remember it was in that moment where my coach, Mr. Keller, he was also my AP English teacher, he said, Jacob, I'm really proud of you. And I started to just really shed these layers of myself that I really didn't know that I was hiding from the world. And I was becoming more of who I really wanted to be. And as I did my first demo, and as I did my second demo, and as I did my third demo, I started to shed more and more of that. I started to walk into the unknown. And it was really hard. It was really hard to make my first phone call. To call Coach Keller, by the way, I had the number typed on my phone for about 5 minutes. And Darren walked up to me and said, Jacob, how many demos have you booked up? I said, I haven't made my first call yet. And he said, oh, let me help you. And he clicked call. And I was like, Coach? And he's like, Jacob, what's up? You usually text me. I was like, and then Darren's like pointing to the script. He's like, Jacob, just read this. I was like, hey, Coach Keller, this is Jacob. How are you? He's like, oh, yeah, I know it's Jacob. And I booked out my first demo, and I was like, wow, like, that was such a mind opening and just like really, it was a really cool experience for me because I never knew what that would really surmount to. And then I think about my faster. Guys, I've wanted to quit more in my faster than I wanted to quit on anything in my entire life prior to that. Because I know there was this like really big pressure on me to do well, which I was already used to from like swimming and just academics, but also just being able to channel this energy that I used to pour into swimming, into academics, into something else was really difficult because it was a path that I'd never been on. And I just decided to do my best. And I was like, I'm just going to be done with this after my fast start. I'm going to go back to the pool. You know, that's what I was thinking on my first day. Fast start's all done. And instead of me walking up to Sebastian and telling him I was done, I actually walked up to my boss at the pool. I bought him two bags of bagels from Great American Bagel. And I said, this is my last day. And I know that moment, it was really tough because he was training me to be the next manager of the pool. And it was tough for me because I knew that I had to really just like step away from an experience and a relationship that I know I was building for a little bit for something better, for something bigger. As I was doing demos, I think about some of the really key moments that shaped my current dream and my current vision. And I'll share that in a moment. But one of the biggest experiences that I've found, and one of my lessons, I do want to give you guys some advice here as far as just understanding what our life is for. Life happens for us, not to us. And as I did my demos, I ran into people that really helped me understand who I was and what I really wanted to do. I did demos for doctors. I did demos for surgeons. And guess what? It was in those demos that I found out that that's not what I wanted to do. When I heard about their lives and how much, schooling they had to go through and how much time they don't have available to spend with their families, to go on vacations, to really do what they truly wanted to do, and I asked them about what they're really passionate about, I noticed that they were a little miserable because there was like this sense of regret, and I didn't want to feel or live through any of that. And I remember sophomore year, junior year, I started to think about what my life would be if I decided not to pursue med school, if I decided to maybe do something else. And I started to become massively open-minded. This is when my mind just opened up to, Jacob, like whatever opportunity you see, you go get it. Whatever you see that's possible or something that's exciting, go chase it, because you don't know what that's going to lead to. I ended up doing a demo for a hospital manager, and I was like, wow, this would be really cool. This was before my first branch summer. And the hospital manager really helped me understand that his job was to really find great people, to develop great people, and to transform the hospital. This hospital is known as Payless Hospital, one of the best hospitals in the south suburbs of Chicago. And I got a chance to see his Porsche and to see, their house and to meet, his entire family. And it was that one experience that really decided to really, that's when I started to think a little bit more differently. I was more open-minded. Maybe I would like to run my own hospital. Maybe I would like to open up my own clinic versus be a doctor in a hospital or work under someone else. And I was starting to think about what that would look like. And the more that I talked about it, the more clear that I got. And what I found over the course of the past even 8 weeks is that the more I talk about my dreams, the more clear they become. And I remember just having a conversation with Mike in New Orleans. And as I shared my vision, and I'll share with you guys my vision as I close out, I understood and I started to understand that the more I talk to people, the more I will understand about that vision and that mission, and the more people I'll start getting connected to. Because we attract people, situations, experiences, and circumstances into our life based off of who we are. And one thing that I've learned from my mentors is the universe will reward clarity. When I started to find clarity as to what I wanted to do versus what someone else wanted me to do, I started to really see these signs of like, wow, this is happening for me. I see that this challenge came up. This is happening for me to step up and rise to the occasion. When I think about my dream now, my dream right now is to serve my people in the best way possible. Why? Because that'll allow me to serve my family and my people better later. I'm a leader. I'm a district manager in Vector now because I want to be the best version of myself later. To be the best dad I can be, to be the best son I could be, to be the best brother I can be. To be able to speak in front of thousands of people and share this similar type of story. To inspire others to take action, to get outside of their comfort zones, because I really didn't know where I would be in 4 years. Maybe I'd be in med school, maybe I'd be miserable, maybe I'd be up until midnight doing all my work like I was doing in college. And that didn't excite me. So as I progress in my district manager career, I understand that I'm getting more clear on what my future holds. Not only for myself, not only for the city of Chicago, not only for our community, not only for you guys. But the biggest thing is understand that the only way that you're going to get closer to your biggest dreams and your biggest goals is when you get outside your comfort zone. My first training seminar that I ran as an assistant manager was horrible. But when I had that one rep that launched Sell a Homemaker, I was ecstatic. I heard when Dan said that, and I was just like, wow, Dan, I remember that exact experience. I remember running my first training seminar as a branch manager, and I had no idea what I was doing. Really no idea. I had the leader's guide, I had the videos, I had what I needed. I was prepared in that sense, but I was really scared because I never experienced something like that before. But that summer shaped the rest of my career. That summer shaped the lives of many representatives, including Andrew Smith, including Sinan, including Tadas, who's now running his own company as a computer science graduate from the University of Illinois. He was my assistant manager. Now he opened up his own tech startup. And now he's working with angel investors and really building up his company to the next level. He's doing a partnership deal with a major hotel brand. And I never thought that would be possible for him, and he shares his gratitude to me all the time. So guys, the more you get outside your comfort zone, the more clear things get. The more that you sit down and you think about things, the more you journal on them, the clearer those things get too. And my biggest dream after Vector, whenever that is to open up my own biohacking facility. And what that is, it's a place where I can really pour myself into people, when I can be a leader, a recruiter, when I find the best experts in their field, to be able to optimize other people's energy, life, their kids' lives, their health, because I'm very passionate about health and medicine, but I really want to do it in the most holistic way possible, in a way that really serves others, levels up communities, and even transforms the rural and urban areas of our country. So I'm really excited to continue getting outside of my comfort zone. I'm excited to continue to go into things that are hard, because I know that those things will shape the rest of my life, my family's lives, and it will inspire others to do the same. Thank you for letting me wrap up today. I'm really excited for you guys to experience maybe your first winter break, your second winter break, your third winter break, or even your 10th winter break. But as you go through the process of really taking the most and adding the most value, and really building into the best version of yourself, just really think about, why are you here? And constantly remind yourself that you're here for a reason. Life is going to continue happening for you. It never happens to you. And I'm excited for the rest of our winter break and also excited to break through in 2022. Thank you.
Woo! Jacob, that was awesome. Thank you for sharing so much of yourself. The other day in New Orleans, I'll wrap up in I'll wrap up on time. That's one of the reasons I like to start on time so we can wrap up on time. I had head cheese from this great restaurant, Cachone Butcher. Like I saw this like massive slab of head cheese, and I was like, I was like, tell me more about that. And they're like, do you want to taste it? I was like, absolutely. And I've had it before. I put it in my mouth and I was like, that was amazing. And that's what it felt like listening to you, Jacob. We build leaders. And I want to thank you all for your participation today, for the effort and energy that you've done in preparation for who you are today so far, and the effort and the energy and preparation that you're going to put forth between now and the push, through the push, and next summer. You heard a bunch of stories of ways that we've impacted people in meaningful and significant ways. We do great things while we're at Vector. Great seeing you. If you have any questions, stay on. Otherwise, have a fantastic day. Thank you for making time today.